Hello, everyone. Welcome to Raquel Teaches Web Development. My name is Raquel, and today I'm going to be teaching a lesson to help you understand the differences between block elements and inline elements in HTML. So let me switch to the browser first. I don't know why and that is not what I wanted to be looking at in the browser because that's not right. This is what I wanted to be looking at. Okay, sorry about that. So this is a blank screen. Okay, so when it comes to block elements versus inline elements, HTML distinguishes elements in that way because it talks about how they are displayed on the web page, right? So when something is a block element, what that means is that it takes up the width of the page. Whereas if something is an inline element, that element only takes up the amount of space on the page needed to display it. So I'm going to switch to my code editor to show you some very simple examples of a block element versus an inline element. So let's go ahead and switch to the code editor. All right. So as you can see right here, I have a basic HTML page and I have some stuff here. Actually, it's commented. So let me uncomment these two things. I have a paragraph element on here with some lorem ipsum text, and I have an image element on here. Oops, which I don't think I have to select. Yeah, I don't have to select the whole thing to uncomment it. That's a plus. So a block element is an example of an element that, a paragraph is an example of a block element, meaning that it's going to take up the whole width of the page. And an image is an example of an inline element that only takes up the amount of space needed to display it. So what I'm going to do here is, now that I've uncommented these things, I want you to see what they look like. I'm going to switch back to the browser and I'm going to refresh the page so you can see what that looks like. So you'll notice that, wait, did I switch back? Yes, so you'll notice that the paragraph goes across the entire width of the page, okay? And once it reaches the other edge, it starts on the left, unless you're using a language that's right to left, but it starts on the left, goes all the way to the end on the right, and then it starts again on a new line until everything in that paragraph is displayed, okay? Whereas with this image element, this is an image I created purposely at this size, 350 pixels wide. And you'll notice that it only takes up 350 pixels to display the image. It doesn't stretch the image across the width of the page. Okay, and so that is the difference between block and inline elements. Now, one thing you need to just understand is that when it comes to coding these things, right? And I'm going to switch back to the code editor so you can have the idea here. There are lists of elements that fall either within the block type of element or the inline type of element. They're very easy to look up. So you can Google them. You can go to sources like Mozilla Developer Network or W3 Schools. But a lot of times also you can get that information from your code editor. And I'm going to try to enter one here because I believe Visual Studio Code will do it. So let's say I just start. See, I start to type a P for the paragraph element, and it gives me a link to the reference for it at the Mozilla Developer Network. So if I go there, it's going to go to my web browser. And let me just switch back over to the web browser so you guys can see. And so now it's giving me information on the paragraph element. And look, right here in the second paragraph, it tells you paragraphs are block level elements. Okay, and I believe if you click that link, it'll start to give you an explanation of what those are, again, just like I did, but somewhere down here, it will give you a list. Oh, so look, when you scroll down, it gives you a complete list of all the block style elements. All right. So that's really all there is to understanding the differences between block and inline elements in HTML. You just need to understand that block elements are referring to those elements that stretch across the width of the page, whereas inline elements are those elements that only take up as much space on the page as is needed to display them. This is not something that you're going to have to memorize ever as a web developer. A lot of times you may have to look this up because you may be working on other things like forms and tables, which I'm going to get into in this playlist. And then when things aren't looking the way they should, you may have to start looking up the type of display that this has when it comes to why it's not appearing a certain way on the page. And usually you'll figure out that, oh, this element looks that way because it's an inline or because it's a block element. Okay. And then when we get into things like CSS to style those elements, there are ways to change the display of those elements sometimes to achieve a certain look or a certain functionality. Okay. So that's really all it is to understanding the differences between block elements and inline elements in HTML. So if you found this video helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button. And if you know someone that would find it helpful, go ahead and share this video by using the share button below. And if you'd like to be notified of future videos as they get added to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It's free and you'll get notified right away when there's new content. So thanks again for taking time out of your day to check in and watch this video. Have a great rest of your day and God bless.